Hello, I'm Jeffrey Ramos, and I'm the director of Samoth Race for episode 4 of the Redacted series.
I'm Travis McLean, and I play Henry Miller.
I'm Joseph Patrick, and some people call me J Pash, and my role is the character of Jimmy. I think a lot of ways you could take it. I think it's very creative, and there's a lot of creative freedom with how to do it when it comes to lines. And I think reeling it into one specific type of character. And I think that's been the biggest challenge. And then, after a few warm-up takes and rehearsals, then locking it in.
The exhaustive presence of madness, paranoia, and living with that.
I think it was just a challenge to figure out how do we make a communicative virus shown visually.
Henry serves the story by kind of allowing the viewer to experience the mimetic virus that all the characters are experiencing in different ways, some more ancillary than others.
I have a sister, and she's in AA. One thing about AA, if you don't know, there's a sponsor. And so a sponsor is a person that brings somebody on when they don't know what's happening. They're fresh out, trying to start the journey of being sober. And so with my character, as Jimmy, I'm kind of in that mentorship role for Henry, bringing him on as a veteran, realizing that, hey, I understand I was in the same place you were. I've been in it for a few years now, and I think this group of men can help us out.
So I work a lot in modern day present storylines that have a stake in reality. And so I think what's really cool about this one is that you get to peer into a cooler part like the Foundation or these anomalies, but also add in the spice of a mimetic virus.
I mean, on film, I think this is the deepest I've gotten to dive in a full-on manic episode. So that's been fun.
I think this series is everything that I try and do is to tell a complete story when I'm doing it. I haven't acted much, so this is actually still an intro. I'm still working out the muscle, putting the reps in.
The script was fun. I mean, honestly, knowing where the character was gonna go seemed like a fun challenge and something worth doing, definitely.
They're grabbing stories that are really dope. They're presenting it in a crazy way. Because I work in the same space as them often, it was man, that'd be cool if I could be a part of it. I was just seeing them set up for one of the scenes for the start of the production. And when I pulled up, I had my USA shirt on. I was just hey guys, what are you guys doing? How you doing? As I normally would. And Chris looks at me and kind of looked stressed out. There was an actor they casted, and he ended up getting sick and he couldn't make the day. And it was under 24 hours before they had to start shooting. And so they were hey, we got crew booked, we got, crafty, we have everything in the process except this one character, and it's kind of a supporting lead, If we have to push it back, it would just mess everything up. Are you down to do a role of acting and try your hand in acting? And I was well, what's the schedule like? I think actually next 3 days I'm free. He's are you seriously considering this? I'm always down to try new things and work different muscles out. I've done it a bit before, have a little theater experience, right? And so after going through some lines and them seeing how I executed it, I got the role. Whenever a challenge is there, I'm always okay, challenge accepted. So I'm just glad it worked out.
So I think what's really cool about this project is that this is an already preset world, and it's pretty cool to see about how each story has been different and how it's changed. Most of the stuff I do is individual stuff, one-offs, they're each in their own plotline story. So it's sort of cool to enter into a world that's already been preset in a way where there's these anomalies, and I think it's really cool because you're sort of adding to a larger story.
The overall experience, the people, everybody, man, cast and crew has been fantastic.
My favorite part of working on the set is really just having the opportunity to practice. Looking back, I had a lot of time that I didn't use for practicing, and now I'm oh man, I don't have any time to practice. I kind of got in the habit of work-based learning, honestly. And so now it's exercising a new muscle of acting, and so that's kind of my favorite part, but also everybody on set's dope.
This is my first experience with SCP. It was weird because I had kind of the exact same experience that that Henry does when he first starts researching it. And I was like, oh, do I want to read about this?
So I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard of SCP. I'd heard what was told to me and that it's a big community, and I am actually super interested in learning about it, because I've always been interested in like Twilight Zone and different things like that, just different things that make you think, and I love that concept. So hearing about the community made me really intrigued. And then reading the script, of course, was like, oh man, I really got to do this. I spent most of my time learning the lines because I didn't have as much time, but yeah, I'm gonna dive into it for sure because I've been a part of this project.